Alright, so this is going to be a quick one here. I'm going to create a plugin called Freedom Sheep to celebrate 4th of July in America. So, that's what we just do. Starting off, it's really simple. Just creating our main class, we import Spigot, and then we extend the Java plugin, and then create our on-enable and on-disable methods. And as usual, I will always put in the register commands and register events, and then create the respective packages. And then I put in a utils package, even though I didn't really need it. Or, no, I did need it because I needed the freedom stick. And here you see me looking up the color codes that I'm going to need for creating the freedom stick, or the colors for the freedom stick, which is going to be red, white, and blue alternating on each letter. So that's going to take me a little bit because I need to remember which color code it is to actually get the freedom stick color down. And here I am. Yep. So once I get that done, I go on to creating the freedom stick item, which I'm not going to do for another few seconds. So, yep. All right. Now here we are making the freedom stick item. So I just create a new stick, then get its meta, then just set its display name to freedom stick name, and then just take the stick, set its meta to stick meta, and then return the stick. Quite easy. Now we go into the freedom sheep command, or freedom command, which just gives you the freedom stick. Now here I am just changing my variables as usual. I think this took me about an hour to do because of the fact that I had trouble getting the sheep to change color. Whoops, spoiled it. Oh well. Anyway, so here I am just creating all the normal stuff. Player. Then I just put in the put in a permission node freedom, or if the player's an operator, and then it just takes a stick and adds it to their inventory. Real easy. And then up next we create the freedom event. Yep, then I register that event, so because I always forget to do that, and then I wonder why it's not working. So implements listener in that event handler. I did this very messily, but it's something quick and it works. So on convert, player interact entity event. So I gotta get the player. Actually, yeah, I didn't even need to use the player, really, just the entity. So, nope, no action, don't need action. And then I get the item stack of the item in the player's main hand. So if the item stack is the freedom sheep, and if the entity that I right-clicked on is a sheep, then you turn it. Then you get the sheep. You set its wool color to. I set it to white. I think I change it to turn them to red afterwards. And set its custom name to freedom sheep, and it set its name visible, so you can actually just see it no matter where you are. And now, I create what is that, the freedom clock? Yes, it is. So here's me just like putting in all the methods for a thread, because a thread is something that just is sort of like something that runs individually of everything else. And then, yeah, you'll see me screw around with it for a long time. Well, you would have seen me screw around with it for a long time, but I actually cut that part out. So here's me trying to remember how to do it. I mean, like, if you take a long break from coding for a while, you'll eventually like get it. You'll sort of forget everything, but like once you get back into the swing of things, you'll definitely be able to. You'll be able to do things quick. Like in a future video, you'll see me creating exploding snowballs, which only took me about 8 minutes to do. I bet my friend no. I asked my friend how long you think it would take me, and it only took me 8 minutes. It could have taken me a lot less, but I figured I'd get it done right. So, yep, you'll see exploding snowballs in the future, and I might not even, actually, no, I would have to narrate over that because I didn't capture my voice, but I wouldn't have to speed it up. You'd actually see me do it in real time. So, right here, I am just, right here, I'm just cycling through all all of the entities in all of the worlds to find all the freedom sheep to change their color. And then here I'm putting in logic to change their color, well, yeah, change their wool color depending on what color they are. So if they're red, they'll turn to white, and if they're white, they'll turn to blue. Then if they're blue, they'll turn back to red. And then they'll just keep cycling through. And then there's a bug where if you kill a sheep, they'll stop changing color. But oh well, it's not like I'll actually release this plugin. I just did it for fun for the 4th of July. Here I am just setting up the plugin YML. I always put version 0 if I'm doing something for fun and like never actually making an official thing. So here, Freedom Sheep. And at first, it's always just it's always a pain to actually get things working right unless you've done it before. So you're just going to notice me just like get stuff working, while trying to get stuff working. So here I just take a sheep and then I get the freedom stick, and then see the sheep's supposed to be changing colors, but it's not, and that's because of the fact that I'm checking for a custom name on the entity, not its actual name, which kind of screwed me over. But oh well. It took me a while to figure that out in like a lot of debug messages, which I think you'll see. I don't think you will. I don't know. Well, we'll see when we get there. So here's just me going like, ah, come on, why isn't this working? It should be working. It's not working. Let's go check wizards, because I know wizards worked. So then here's me just adding in a few this dots because it's an the freedom clock is an actual separate object which has its own values which can be changed. So there's me just making more freedom sheep, trying to get it to work, and I'm struggling at this point because I completely, as I already told you, I completely forgot about checking the names. Well, I forgot to check the console for any errors. See, that's something you always got to do. If something's not working right, check the console, because the console always gives you what you need. Unless it's something that doesn't throw an error, then you just miss something. That's why I put in debug messages. Debug messages and checking the console. That's all you got to do. And here you see me just going to my GitHub page to actually figure out what the hell I'm trying to do. And I'm like, okay, I gotta do a thing. What am I doing here? I am opening the wrong windows as usual. I'm like, okay, what did I do? Oh yeah, here is me. No, what was I doing? I don't really know. So there's me just gonna be sitting around here for a while, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. Just trying. Now here you see me putting in the debug messages, just checking the world, and then just the world.get name. Because I have a plugin on my testing server called Multiverse, which is quite nice. Yep, so just debug messages and more debug messages. And then I'm not if you really paid attention, you would have noticed that I actually just did a jump cut there to actually when I figured it out, which was the sheep names. And then it's like, okay, that's just gonna give a lot of debug messages because it's a lot of sheep for every, yeah, yep. So I just remove the debug messages, and I just get everything going. I start the server. It only takes about 3 to 4 seconds. I'm like, okay, then just kill all the freedom sheep. Then I turn on my shaders, and then I think this is when I actually got the freedom sheep working. So here's just me. Yeah, here's me just making a bunch of freedom sheep, and then me realizing that there's a bug in the interact event, but that's an easy fix. So, yep, just me going nuts with the freedom sheep, and then I got the idea, since the name isn't colored or anything, I can just go, hey, name an egg freedom sheep, and then there you go. Tons of freedom sheep everywhere. And you'll notice that, like, there's, like, the ones that don't spawn as white will actually, they'll just keep the normal color. And I eventually put in, like, afterwards, I put in a line that just removes them outright. Yep, so there's the freedom sheep. And here we go. Yep, so that was Freedom Sheep, and since I don't really say this don't say this out loud, I'd like to thank you for watching my video, and have a great 4th of July, all of you. Well, depending on when this goes up. Just pretend it's 4th of July. Alright, see ya!